All right, you guys, we're going to do 7.1, which is over exponent properties. And today we're going to talk mostly about properties that involve multiplication, okay? So our first property states that a product of powers means that if you are multiplying exponents that have the same base, so the base is this number down here on the bottom, right? If those are the same and it's a multiplication problem, then you are going to add the exponents together, okay? So add exponents if bases are the same, right? So your example down here might be this guy, 3x squared times negative 2x. So it's a multiplication problem. So we multiply 3 times negative 2 and get negative 6. Our x's are the same for our base, so we're going to add. So this has a 2. If there's no exponent, it's a 1, right? So 2 plus 1, and then we simplify. Negative 6 times x to the third power, and this would be your final answer. If I had something like 4x squared times 3x to the fourth, same type of thing. It's multiplication. So we're going to do coefficients. 4 times 3 is 12. And then our bases for our exponents are the same. So x and x means I'm going to add 2 plus 4, which gives me x to the 6. And that would be your final answer there. Okay? So if it's multiplication, we add exponents. Now, the second power or property is power of a power. Power of a power means there's going to be parentheses, and it's going to be a power that's being taken to another power. Now, just like anytime you see parentheses, if I have something that looks like this, 6 times x plus 2, right? We see those parentheses, and that means we distribute that number on the outside. That's the same thing that's going to happen with this little guy. So it's going to go backwards inside to everything that's in there. So that means we're going to multiply exponents. So I'm going to multiply exponents when it's power to a power, okay? So if I have something like x to the fourth to the third, right? This guy comes in here and multiplies, and this gives me x to the 12th, and that would be my answer. Same thing happened here. 2 times 7 gives me this, and x to the 14th would be my answer. Okay, so when it's multiply, we add. When there's parentheses, we multiply. All right, lots to keep track of here, so make sure you're paying attention. Okay, let's scroll down here and do a few examples. All right, so again, multiplication, bases are all the same, so we are going to add our exponents together. So I would have w to the 9 plus 2 plus 3, which gives me w to the 14th. And we can't simplify any further, so that's our answer. Again, multiplication, negative 2 times negative 10 is positive 20. And then if I add my exponents, that's a 4, and this guy would be a 1, so x to the 5th. Once you can't simplify any further, you're done. And then this one, distribute, because it's a parentheses, or multiply. So we have 6 times 4, which would be x to the 24th. Okay? Our last property is going to be power of a product. And this is just like the power of a power, except there's more than one term inside the parentheses. And all that means is we're going to distribute to everything on the inside. So instead of doing it just to one term, we're going to do it to multiple, or however many are in there. So this becomes a to the m, b to the m. So this one again means distribute to all terms inside parentheses. Okay, so another example, if I have 4 to the x to the third y squared to the second, right? So each one of these terms needs to get this variable or this exponent distributed. So 4 has a little 1 there, so it's going to go to the 4, the x, and the y. And I'm going to multiply all the exponents. So that gives me 4 to the second. X would be 3 times 2, so x to the 6th. And y would be 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 would be 4. Sorry. Grab that again. Okay, now I can solve 4 squared. That's something I can simplify even further, which is 16. So my final answer would be 16 x to the 6th, y to the 4th. Okay, let's do a few more here, and we're almost done. So number on the outside means I distribute to everything on the inside, so x and y, and I'm going to multiply the exponents, just like we do in distributing. So this would give me x to the 16th, y to the 4th. I can't simplify either of those further, so that's my answer. Same thing here. 6 is on the outside. 4 and x both have a 1, so I'm going to do 4x and y. This would give me 4 to the 6th, x to the 6th, y to the 18th. And I can type this guy in. So 4 to the 6th is actually 4,096 x to the 6th, y to the 18th. And if you remember, if you're struggling at all, on your calculator, your exponent key looks like this on the left-hand side. So if you wanted 4 to the 6th, you type in 4, this key, 6, and hit equals, and it will give you that. Okay? Last one on this one. 4, again, is going to go to everything. So it goes to the 2, the x, and the y. Remember, there's a little 1 right here. So I'm going to have negative 2 to the 4th, x to the 12th, and y to the 20th. Okay? Now, this guy down here is telling you a little secret. Always use parentheses when inputting a number into power with your calculator. So with this one, since there's a negative, you need to put the negative in parentheses before you take it to the power of 4, or else it'll give you the wrong sign for the answer. Okay, so negative 2 to the 4th is going to be 16, and the rest of these stay because you can't simplify any further. Okay, all right, so let's put a couple of those properties together. Over here, last set, this one gives me parentheses first, so I have to go parentheses, distribute here. This has a little 1, right? So I'd have 3 to the 4th, y to the 12th, and I haven't touched this guy, y to the 5th, right? I can type in 3 to the 4th, so that gives me 81, and this is multiply. So multiply means I add exponents, right? So I can't draw an arrow because there's no parentheses, so I add them. 12 plus 5 gives me 17, so this is 81, y to the 17th. Okay, same thing over here. 4x squared, I'm not going to touch yet, so I'm just going to write it down, times, and then this one has our 3, so we're going to go 3xy. So this would be negative 3 to the 3rd. X would be 3 times 3, so that's 9. And then y has a little 1 here as well, so that would be 3. Okay, I'm going to have to go further. So 4x squared, I'm still not going to touch. Again, put this in parentheses, but negative 3 to the 3rd would be negative 27. X to the 9th, y to the 3rd. Okay, now it's multiply. So I have to multiply 4 and negative 27, which gives me negative 108. Okay, x's are going to be added. So 2 and 9 makes x to the 11th. And then y to the 3rd doesn't match anything, so it stays by itself. Okay, all right, last two down here. We have 2 sets of parentheses now. So I'm going to do the first set with 2a and b. So this gives me 2 squared, a squared, and b to the 16th. And then my other one over here is just 1, power of a power. So a to the 20th. Okay, again, now it's multiplication. This guy I can solve, so 2 squared is 4. And then my a's get added together because they are like terms, or same base. 2 and 2, 20 makes 22. So a to the 22nd, and then b to the 16th. Okay, and on these, last one, this is one whole term together since it has a plus sign in between it. So the only thing you have to do here is multiply the exponents, just like we've been doing on the other ones with parentheses. So this becomes z plus 4 to the 15th, and that's all you have to do for that guy. Okay, you'll have one like that on your homework, so make sure you pay attention to that one. Okay, all right, all done. Good job.